Hey Precalc, in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to rewrite an ellipse equation in standard form. So sometimes you're not giving it your ellipse equation in the form you want, and you need to graph it, or you need to determine the foci, or whatever, various parts. So rewriting it isn't too bad. It just involves completing the square multiple times. So let's look at an equation. 4x, well, I guess I should give instructions, but if you couldn't guess, our instructions are going to be rewrite the equation in standard form. And our equation is going to be 4x squared plus 24x plus y squared minus 10y minus 3 equals 0. So remember, the generalized equation is like x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1, right? So we need it to equal 1. We need to have perfect squares and numerators. And to start off, we basically want to have our x squareds and y squareds on one side and our constants on the other side. So I'm going to start by moving over the 3. And then for the rest of the problem, I'm going to do some color coding to try to help show the steps. So 4x squared plus 24x plus y squared minus 10y, and then I guess I'll do everything else in black, so equals 3. Okay, let's move that over. So now we want to look at our x's, right? And we want to complete the square, and we want to look at our y's, and we want to complete the square. So just focusing on our x's, what we're going to want to do is first factor out that a value. So I'm going to rewrite this as 4 parentheses x squared, and 24 divided by 4 is 6. So we have plus 6x. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, but it's not really, you don't need to factor anything out. If you want, you can rewrite it in parentheses. I think that can be really helpful. And then we still bring down our equals 3. Now is the part where we actually complete the square. Zoom in for you. So in here, right, I'm going to do 6 divided by 2, which is 3, and then square it, which is 9. And I'm going to add that inside my parentheses. And then over here, I'm going to complete the square. So I'm going to have y squared minus 10y. Negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. And negative 5 squared is 25. Now, if you remember when completing the square, we currently are not balanced if I were to just leave this as is, right? Because I added 9 into the parentheses here, so I need to add the equivalent to the other side, but it's not going to be 9, right? It's going to be 4 times 9. So for this, to keep things balanced, I need to add a 36. And then for this, right, it just added 25. There's nothing factored out, so I'm going to add 25 to keep things balanced. Now I'm going to factor, I'm going to simplify, so we will have 4 parentheses x plus 3 squared. Then we will have plus y minus 5 squared equals, and 3 plus 36 plus 25 will give me 64. Alright, now at this point we're getting really close. We have our squares. You can probably figure out what the vertex is going to be, right? Negative 3, 5. But we need to get fractions. We want this to equal 1. So I'm going to divide both sides by 64 and simplify. When I divide everything by 64, I guess I'll show it. right? So I'm going to divide everything by 64. And then we need to simplify this fraction. So 4 over 64 reduces to be 16. So this will be x plus 3 squared over 16 plus y minus 5 squared over, and this is going to stay 64, and then it's going to equal 1. And that's it. And at this point, we could do whatever we were asked, right? We could find the key characteristics, we could find the foci, we could graph, we have a bunch of options. So that's the gist. The important concept is, do you know how to rewrite it into standard form?